After we'd spent some time in the Roman Museum, we decided we'd better have a walk to the Roman baths because they were going to close at 2 o'clock for lunch, and then you had a siesta period of several hours, and we were going to struggle to get everything back to the ship and so on. So we walked. It was about 20 minutes walk from the Railway Museum along the seafront, and we saw people surfing. Okay, some waves over there. I remember the last time we were in Gijon, about 10 years or so ago. No, 20 years ago now, thinking about it. We saw people swimming and what have you in the sea. It seems very popular. It seemed very cold to me, I seem to remember. But yeah, we walked up through Villa, which is the old town of Gijon. And then when you come out on the other side, there's an open space in front of a church, and beneath that is a Roman bath complex. In fact, the bath complex was only discovered relatively recently when they were trying to redevelop the area in front of the church. And instead of just getting rid of it, if you like, or burying it under whatever else they did, in fact, they roofed it over and turned it into a little museum. It's free to visit, but you have to wait in line because it's a one in, one out principle. So you don't have too many people in there at once. And in places, because of the way the roof is, it gets a little bit low, so I have to stoop a bit. But since we were there 20 years ago, things have changed quite a lot. They've improved it considerably. Somebody spent an awful lot of time and an awful lot of money putting displays on, making it one way around, and that kind of thing. So it's really, really well done. And for something that's free, it's absolutely remarkable. And we can't recommend it highly enough. But I think the videos speak for themselves. Yeah. Come down this way, apparently. Presumably.
Las termas, presentes en todo el imperio, nos permiten conocer su forma de vida. Hoy sabemos que eran lugares de reunión, de descanso.
Like cannonballs, these round ones, too. Don't remember that being there 20 years ago. It's a different form of hip, of course. That is. You haven't got your the peely for that one, have you? Whole different thing with the archways. It's obviously designed for supporting something much heavier than just a floor surface.
Yeah.
Is that what they call opus signinum? I wonder that over the top of those what are roof tiles, ridge tiles. If that's opus signinum, that's the Roman cement.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, they've only just worked out how it was made because it's self-healing. Believe it or not. Yeah. It's got the most ridiculous properties. Nobody could work out what it was like. Oh, look, you've got something like a deer footprint or something like that, or a sheep.
Yeah.
Tabular decanalization. Yeah. See, these are more of those water channel liners. To the drainage. Oh, that could be roof tiles as well, apparently. Type of roof tile, look.
Yeah.
Like that. Well, I suppose running rainwater off a roof and channeling drainage water away. Not really. That's is it Pelus, I wonder, or Pela? Well, no, it's Pele is the plural.
Yeah.
But that is, I don't think there's a male and female. When it gets plural, I think it is, but it could be Pelus or Pelam, I don't know.
Yeah.
The Lord, I haven't done Latin since I was 14, that's 60 years ago. And I wasn't very good at it then. That was the despair of the masters, although tubulus, I suspect. One of those box flue tiles, as we call them. Well, we'll go down here first and then up those stairs, I think.
Yeah.
That's the penguin. The great auk. And they're extinct now. We can understand why when people saw them down south. They thought, oh, it's penguins.
Yeah.
Because penguin is Welsh. Means something like whitehead. You can see why. A quern.
Todos los egipcios, todos, y hacían las cosas sin masa.
Some pili in situ. Under there. Presumably that's it there. There's he says right, the pili were
Yeah.
it's still in place. But
I don't know whether we go up first or down first.
I don't know. I mean, it shows an escape route this way, so I'm going to guess that that's the way to go out. No. Well, that's basically it. But you see, you've got pili, but you've got these arches as well, which
Yeah.
is curious. Mind you, the pili would certainly reinforce the arches like that, because Roman arches are not round topped. So, what you've got with this is that if that proved, even if you didn't need it in theory to make the pass the heat through,
Yeah.
putting the pili underneath the crown of the arch would prop the arch up basically when it would collapse otherwise. Do a lot more. Let's get the battery handle out. This is a frigidaire. It's a plunge pool. It's there. I'm still amazed they didn't have anything that would allow you to regulate the heat flow through the flue tiles, because if you weren't careful you could end up with the drawer all going in one direction, so that the walls wouldn't be in even heat. I can remember arguing with somebody about that. This is definitely, wasn't around last time we were here. It's fascinating that I remember that. I had to crouch when we came to parts of it. Do you remember that? Oh, you've got some, the remains of some wall plaster lot.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And on the next room. I don't honestly remember this being as much as this. But I can remember bits. I can remember coming and having to duck. I think it's difficult sometimes for the amateur. Yeah, I suppose once you know what the bath complexes were always, there's a basic concept. So, ow, it's getting lower, I think. I do remember this bit. We came before. Having to crouch down. We might see went to that Roman exhibition in London, didn't we? Was it Pompeii or something?
Yeah.
It was saying how that's better. Okay. As we walked back through Cima de Villa towards the seafront, we found an area which we hadn't seen before, and it's covered in dragons' heads. Why, I do not have the faintest idea. We then decided that we wouldn't walk all the way from down the seafront. We'd go one street back because we were looking for somewhere to get a snack, a cup of coffee and a cake, tide us over until we got back to the ship. So we went along Calle de Marqués de San Esteban, which is one road back from the seafront, and we saw some absolutely lovely buildings on the way, fantastic balconies and so on. And then we came across a cafe that was open. Most of them weren't, but this was very definitely a little coffee bar, very much for the locals. There were police in there, and the post girl came in, and so on. So it was definitely not a very posh place, but somebody told us it was very good. Some English tourists came out and said, "Oh, you want to go in there? It's really good," which it was. And we saw these, which are brazo gitanos. It translates to Swiss rolls, but it wasn't like a Swiss roll I've ever had before. It had a very thick layer of cream that was covered in jam, but it was lovely. And they cost €2 each slice, which is really good value for money. That's it. Brazo Gitano, $2.20. Okay. Well, we reached the end. After we reached the end of the drink and the cake, which we thoroughly enjoyed, we went to get the bill. And the whole lot came to €7.80, which is about £7.30, something like that. I mean, you can't get a cup of coffee and a cake in Britain for much less than that. So we thought this was fabulous value. So we then turned right and headed back towards the Railway Museum. But there was a big queue for the buses, and we weren't in a rush, so we decided we'd go and have a look around. When we were here before, 20 years ago, we found some apartment blocks, which we did find again. I'll show you in a second. But we walked down to the nearby beach, very small beach, but quite a nice one. And from there, we could see Queen Victoria over at the Muelle Norte in the Portal Museu. And here are those buildings, and they look exactly like cruise ships, in our opinion. The chimney is because this is a redeveloped industrial area. We're underway.
No.
Mm. She's not doing a fat lot yet, but she's. You can sort of see that if you look at that, just moving very, very gently. Yeah, you can tell. You don't want being on camera, do you, dear? Well, take your flipping head out of the way.
Sorry.
Well, to stand there, all I'm saying, you got your head. You know, you don't want to be on camera, there you go. All I can see is your ear on. And yes, I will take that sound off the thing. Not sure why I got the police shepherded it out as well as everything, the pilot.
Oh, I'm trying to make out what that boat was. It's not
Well,
a
that's pilot. That's pilot.
Is it?
Yeah, it's this pilot's on the side. That one up there
There was one that wasn't.
is Guardia Civil.
Yeah. I know I've seen the pilot boat with the pilot on the side. There was another one that didn't seem to have anything on it that kept handing around.
When it came round, it said Guardia Civil.
Perhaps it was only on one side.
Possibly. You're going to average 18 knots tonight. You're going to be going a bit quicker than we've seen. I think we can go and see Arena and then come back up and change, can't we? Then go back
Well, I
down.
was going to say, do we change before we go down? Or after?
Well, I mean, we've got a 20-minute slot at 20 to 6. So at 6 o'clock you have to come up on the lift. That's a reason.